Hey guys, it's Twisty.
D.Fresh
And we're joined by Baba once again this week, talking about episode 3 of Revolution, NBC's new show. Oh my gosh, all the power went out. So, this time we're going to open up with our characters again. Let's talk about the characters of Monroe. Now, Monroe wasn't much in this episode. He's only really featured in a flashback with Miles. And we don't really learn anything other than the fact that him and Miles are really, really close.
And Monroe has no family because Miles is his family and he's going to fight for Miles.
Right. Which was a little homoerotic. But, I mean, I think that it's supposed to be... They're supposed to be just really, really good friends. They really depend on each other.
But I think it's more or less Monroe depends on Miles. Because Miles does have family.
Right. So,
you know.
That's probably more of the bond.
I kind of felt like Monroe was like a little orphan boy that they picked up off the street and made him join the military.
Yeah, he had no one, and they're just like, well, you know what? Hey, since you have no one, why not, just fight for your country
and die.
Then there's Nora. We learn a little bit more about her, that apparently she was bad.
Preggers.
She was a bad person at first, and then she's trying to do good by standing up for the United States.
And she was pregnant.
Yeah, she was pregnant at some point in time, lost the baby. And that's pretty much that's pretty much all we really know about her. We're, as much as they're giving us stories and stuff about these people, we don't know anything else. Interesting.
Yeah.
There's Jeremy. We had learned that he has somewhat of a backstory. He is protected by Miles and Bass when it was a while before the militia got started.
Yeah.
He was a man that was getting beat up, and they protected him. And
Miles protected him and then made him part of the militia.
So we learned a little bit. He's introduced. Maybe he's gonna pop up again. I'm assuming he is. And he's a little cutthroat, but I don't know how smart he is in comparison to everyone else. He seems maybe a little bit more naive and maybe more trusting of Miles, or even he really would never even hurt Miles, because without Miles he would probably be dead. So even if it was probably a kill order to kill Miles, I don't think Jeremy would do it. Personally.
But I don't know, because Miles did train him.
Right. So he might train to be cutthroat, but I don't know. Jeremy doesn't come off as just tough to me.
Yeah.
One of the sacrifices men, though, throwing them in like that right on the dog. Even Baba mentions that maybe it's sick, but I found it really fun that Jeremy kept sacrificing his men to spend the ammo. Hope he returns in the future. So maybe he'll be selling people in. Like, hey, go die. Go die. Yeah.
Yay.
Then there's Danny. And Danny as Baba says, Danny is so much more interesting than his sister. Yes, he is. Did he do anything? No. He was chained up to a post, people, and he's still more interesting than the one that could walk around.
That's horrible, because, yes, he was chained to a post, and he got his butt beat.
Then he fights back.
And he's still more interesting.
That was 3 scenes, and I just thought those 3 scenes could have been strung together and moved on. Why did we have those separated? We didn't learn much except for the fact that Danny was asthmatic. Oh, whoops, we already knew that. Danny stood up for himself. Oh, whoops, he already did that too. So what did we learn? Nothing, except for the fact that the other soldier came off as whiny. Whiny.
Danny killed his best friend.
And they gotta go talk to Fat Carol. Apparently no one likes Fat Carol. That's all it was.
And it's horrible.
And why would you call someone Fat Carol? That's so mean. That is so mean. That seems like an inside writer joke right there.
It probably was.
And then there's Aaron. We learned a little bit more about him. We already knew that he was part of Google. We knew that he was a billionaire. And we knew that he knew about computers. Hold on, what did we learn again?
He had a wife. I don't know, we knew that.
Boy, go get him some water.
He's hairy.
He's very hairy. Then he's really smart with computers. Moving on. Then there's Charlie.
That was just mean. Fine. Hey, General, if you want me dead, kill me. Other than that, I'm thirsty.
Yes, sir. You killed my best friend.
But you killed my father.
No one likes him. He sucks.
Oh, okay. Come again.
You know what now? You know what? Now I have to go home. Yeah, and explain to his wife, Fat Carol. Fat giant Carol. She wobbles around like this when she walks. This giant fat Carol.
Well, maybe she should lose some weight.
Now you're making fun of Fat Carol? Do you not realize how gigantic this woman is? And she's going to have to walk to the door and listen to me explain to her about how my best friend is now dead.
I'm sorry.
Wobble, wobble, wobble.
I'm sorry. Hey. Whoa.
Okay, you guys, now let's talk about the plot. The whole plot of this episode is that we go back with Nora and we see the rebel camp. We actually see what it looks like, and I was unimpressed. Unimpressed at all. They seemed unorganized, a group of people that didn't seem to really know what they were doing. I don't know. It sounded like a bunch of, they got a bunch of housewives and teenagers together and just said, "Come on, let's restart the United States." None of these people seem like they were ever fighters.
No,
ever.
They all got shot and died, basically.
Yeah, and I mean they died easily. And then there was one guy who was really good with a gun, but we didn't understand why he was good with a gun. It didn't say he had military. It didn't say he was trained. And
then after he ran out of ammo, that was pretty much it. We never saw him
again. I mean, I don't know. Then we have the whole scene with Danny going up against his guard because his guard's mad at him because his best friend died. Wham. He was so whiny this episode. Not Danny for once. It was just the guard. Yeah. And then we have Aaron and Maggie going to Grace's house to try to figure out what this little device is. And we learn something that apparently it is the source of some kind of trapped electricity, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, but hopefully that eventually will become clear. That's pretty much the plot in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Why was the show an hour long? Anyway, I think that two scenes that we found to be very, very important was Nora's breakdown. Nora breaks down, and we learn that she was pregnant, and that's only important because we don't care. It seemed out of place.
Yeah.
I didn't know why it was said. I didn't feel really any more sympathetic towards Nora.
No.
It kind of explained why she joined the rebellion. Then it kind of doesn't.
Well, in my mind, I thought she did it because she said she was trying to do it for her unborn fetus. But I was like,
Right. Why weren't you doing that at first? What suddenly made you change now?
I guess like she was pregnant.
Because she was pregnant, then it died, and so now she knows when she's pregnant again, she wants it to be better.
So basically, in this episode, she decided to show her girlness.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have the whole intellectual scene, which I think was pretty intellectual, about Miles choosing to become the police, choosing to become the government, choosing to become the military by doing what no one else is doing, and that's stopping crime. People are doing these horrible things, which, I mean, you think about it, if you don't have government, there is anarchy to an extent, because not everyone in the world is going to do the right thing.
That's the interesting thing. The government seemed to dissolve really, really quickly.
It seemed like they were so dependent on electricity that they didn't even know how to do it without electricity. And how did they do it back in the 1700s without electricity? Come on now.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, so 6 weeks after a blackout, the government falls.
That's kind of what it seems. I mean, they do 15 years later, but without this explanation of what happened in between there, I don't understand why the government failed. But let's go with the fact it failed. We don't know why it failed. But the question is, since he's standing up to try to become the government, it just proves that we need government to control people. People's natural instinct is not always to do the right thing, as twisted as that may seem, and hopefully it doesn't come as a shock to people. That's why there are jails. So, I know, I just blew your mind. Then, going on to next week's plot, are y'all getting annoyed? Is it just me that we know the secrets about everything that's happening because of the previews? I already knew Miles was going to be part of the thing because the preview last week. Baba mentioned this. She also mentioned that, so it's totally Maggie that's going to die next week. I mean, she's the only character that seems like if we drop him, who cares?
Yeah. Actually, I kind of feel that way about Charlie, but
I mean, you can't kill off the main character. Well, you can, but I mean, you have to have another character step up, which any of Miles will be more interesting. Danny for that matter. But anyway, so I don't know exactly why NBC is choosing to do that, but whoever's doing the previews, this is a warning. Do better. Do better. You're not doing better. You're giving away the whole surprise.
Don't give away pride.
Right. Be like, someone we didn't know is captured and they were important to the militia. Something like it. I don't know. But don't just tell us, because if you tell us, we'll watch and think, okay, well, what else is going to happen? And then that was the whole point.
Yeah.
Totally a letdown.
Well, you know I'm here for it, man. It's actually my baby. I'm speaking. And and I was all pregnant and things, and no, that story's still going. And I was dating a guy, and he was all wimpy and stuff. He tried to stick up for me, and I had to go in there and kick some butt and took names later, and shut up. Sadly, I lost the baby, and so now I'm fighting, because if I want to have a baby again, it will be in the United States of America.
But aren't we still on that property?
Shut up!
Wait. Were you like the ones that shot those innocent people?
What are you doing?
Were you the ones that just killed them? Huh?
Hey.
Are you attacking that man too?
Hey, Miles, let's just...
Huh?
Hey, Miles.
Huh? Is that what we're doing? Huh? Is that what we're... Huh? Yeah.
Okay.
We have to take this in our own hands, okay? There is no police, okay? There is no government.
Sure.
If we aren't the ones who's doing it, then who else will? Who else will?
Yeah.
No one. No one. No one.
Okay, let's just go. Let's go.
All right, the big questions of the night. How can Grace keep electricity for extended times? That was your question.
Yeah, I was really trying to figure that out because even the little USB thing that Ben had, it created an electrical charge for like maybe a minute, but Grace's electricity seemed to be continual because she built herself a computer. Mm-hmm. And she had electrical things. And so we were just trying to, I was trying to figure that out. I was like, is it thing, what is it to where hers lasted longer than Ben's? Or how much electricity did she have compared to Ben and compared to this Randall person? So,
or maybe it's just the whole way of trying to figure out how to activate it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. And of course Ben died before he could tell anybody how to activate it. So it's kind of like, now we're on this quest to try to figure out how to activate this USB with no electricity.
Baba mentions an interesting question concerned with that. Why would someone have to build a computer? Why? We didn't time travel, so why do they act like they don't exist? Like Grace never had one. Huh? I have to agree with her on that one. Why did she build one?
Yeah, she had a CD player, but she didn't have
a computer. Like, what do they do? Come through and like destroy everything electronic? That makes no sense.
It wouldn't make
it sense. I mean, if it didn't work, why would you even touch it? It'd be like junk.
Yeah, like the cars that are scattered all over the place.
So they didn't touch them. So why would that made absolutely no sense. I don't know why she built a computer either.
Maybe she just wanted to build it. If you build it, Randall came.
Right. So she should have built it. Okay, then we have when Miles started the militia, was it for good, and did Bass pervert it? Now, I was curious about this because we know that Miles started the militia. We know that Miles realized that there needed to be some kind of government. So I want to say that when he originally started this whole militia thing, it was for good. It was to create a new police. It was to create a control and to make sure people were doing the right thing.
But I think that was also because he shot 2 people dead in their head because they were beating up on somebody for food.
Right.
So, I mean, it's like, if you see the way human nature acts without some type of authority, you just have people running amok, basically. I mean, you'll have riots and all this other mess. I'm pretty sure there were several riots right after the blackout. Of course, we don't see any of that, but it was like, I mean.
And then you have the idea that did Bass pervert it? Well, I mean, Miles left, and it makes me think if he left, it had to be on the brink of already turning bad. So what in Miles snapped? At first he's like, no, 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 leave him alone, stay out of it. So what in Miles snapped that made him suddenly think, yeah, I need to be in control of this and blah, 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 that. And blah. I don't know. It's something that's very strange about that idea of you not wanting to get involved and suddenly you're controlling everything. It's what switched in him, what changed in Miles,
Right.
what caused all this. Because if Miles trained everybody that started this militia, which I don't understand how you got some people to join. That's beyond me also.
Exactly.
But because he did all this stuff, is Miles that tough?
He's bad, man. He's a wolf.
And something seems unrealistic about that. It's just he's too...
Because he trained everybody that came through the militia to be cutthroat and ruthless like him.
Then if he's that... Then see, it doesn't seem like he was doing it for good then.
Right. And that's what I was like, and on top of that, he said he trained everybody that came through the militia. Okay, so that scene where there was like 150 men there at the little restaurant shooting them up, you trained each and every one of them. Really?
I don't know.
How long were you with this militia?
That's what something seems odd about that. We don't know how long he deserted it. We don't. It's a lot of open questions that hopefully NBC is going to answer. And NBC, come on, get together. We're trying to hold on for this new show, but you got to give us something.
Y'all have a great concept here. Just write better.
Yeah. Or give us more in the episodes. Because honestly, I'm being honest, this episode was a little long, a little boring. And even though there were interesting things that happened, it was a little boring. So, pick it up, work it out, do it better. It's Twisty, y'all.
D.Fresh and Baba on my shoulder.
She was jamming. Thank you for watching. Check out NBC Monday nights. Once again, thank you guys for watching. Love you guys. Check you guys later.
Check you later.